So, a weird situation that happened to me the other day. I was working for my buddy. It was a job right here on Main Street. It was for a property management company. And we had the time scheduled for that morning. And I'm supposed to go in and recalk a bathroom, right? Well, she lives all the way up, so I walked all the way up to the third floor, and she lives, so then you have to turn around from the stairs, there's a railing, and go back, and then there's like two doors, the neighbors, and then her door is all the way at the end, so it's like a little hallway, so I'm like, oh man, this is a weird spot to be in. Because as soon as I got up the stairs, the neighbor's dog is just yapping, the woman's screaming at him. So I'm like, oh my God. And you know how it echoes in like those, there's like no sound barriers in those places. It's right off of Main Street, those old buildings. And anyways. So, I'm just breathing. I'm like, okay, whatever, I'm knocking on the door. Knocked on the door again. I thought I heard something inside, but I wasn't sure because the neighbor's dog was yapping so loud and it was echoing everywhere and she was yelling. So, I stood up there for probably about 3 minutes or so and knocked, about once every 30 seconds. So I was like, well, fuck, nobody's fucking here, I guess they had to take off. So I came out of there and I let my buddy know, and anyways, it came back to me within 20 minutes. It came back to me, hey, the key's at the office. Go ahead and grab the key, and then you can let yourself in and do what you got to do. So, and I got this weird feeling, like I was like, oh man, I don't know. And I should have just went with that feeling, but I didn't. Because I need the work. I'm catching up on work. I'm thousands of dollars behind in bills right now. So catching up on work. This is what happens when you're a poor person. You're put in these situations where you're constant. That's why I hate fucking working now, because you're forced into these fucking situations basically, or at least like you feel like you're forced because you need the fucking money. You got to work, right? So I went and grabbed the key and went back up in there. And, as soon as I got to the top of the stairs, neighbor's dog started freaking out again. She's yelling at him again. So I get back over the door and I'm like, I'm going to knock. Maybe they got back home or something. So I stood at the door for a minute or two, about a minute and a half, knocked. Nobody came to the door. So, and I knocked loud, and obviously I'm fucking waking everybody else up. So I opened the door, I unlocked the door, and I opened the door, right? And just a little bit, just enough, and I yelled in, I go, it's Richard with her property management. And as soon as I did that, this baby starts crying, right? And I just fucking froze. Because I was like, I wasn't expecting, fuck, dude. I don't know. A dog maybe, I don't know, but not a baby crying. So I froze because I didn't know what to do. I'm like, well, fuck, I'm in somebody else's house. Fucking didn't think anybody's here. I got the key, and a baby's crying. And then I'm like, well, fuck, dude, if they're sleeping, maybe they're young parents. I didn't know who the fuck lived in there, But immediately, a baby's crying, so I assumed, okay, well, they're probably young parents, and it's a baby, so they're probably fucking tired. And I remember having a baby, so I'm like sitting there frozen in the door, and all this is going through my head, right? Because at first, the first thing that went through my head was I was like, oh my God, I got to rescue the baby. But I froze. Thankfully, I froze. And because the immediate next thought that went through my head was, oh no, somebody's going to shoot me if I run in there. Because the immediate next thought was, I would definitely be in my house if I had a baby and the baby just woke up. It'd take me a minute to fucking wake up. So, all this shit's going through my head. At first, I was going to rescue the baby. Then I was going to get shot. Then I was going to so all this shit. While I'm sitting there frozen in the doorway, the baby's crying. The dog's fucking freaking out. The woman's screaming. I'm in this thin little hallway, and I'm like, oh, fuck. Right? So I called out real quick. So I made a decision in my head. I was like, I'm going to call out real quick again. If nobody answers, I'm out of here. And nobody answered. I yelled out, hey, it's Richard, property management. Is anybody here? Baby just kept on crying. Dog kept on barking. Woman kept on screaming. I closed the door and got the fuck out of there. But yeah, so anyways, that happened the other day. But yeah, I came out and I called my buddy up and I told him what happened. And I was like, dude, I'm freaking out. I was like, I got to get the fuck out of here. He's like, well, call the cops. I was like, fuck no, I'm not calling the cops on something. I was like, I don't know if they're fucking sleeping. I was like, I'm not dealing with this shit. I'm done with it. So, I think that was last Friday. Today's Saturday, not this past Friday. That was the Friday before, I believe. And I came out of that. I mean, I got my son that day. Yeah. But I think I relaxed the rest of the day. I just took it easy the rest of the day. And I came out of it. So, again, I'm just trying to... establish my healing in that, a situation like that, I didn't freak out. I didn't go into a panic attack. I did freeze. I went into fight or flight. Thankfully, I froze and didn't run in the house because I could have been fucking had a shotgun blast in my fucking face. And yeah, everything worked out. The baby didn't need rescuing. The person, it come to find out, I ended up finding out the person slept, works at nights. So they had probably just gotten home, because I think I showed up there like 10 o'clock. I think it was 10 o'clock when I got there. So they had probably gotten home at like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. And then probably tried staying awake. And, they were probably sleeping there at the dining room, passed out at the dining room table, for God's sake. But yeah. Anyways, so I got through that situation, but I don't feel like it affected me the day after, because the day after, so I got my son that evening, and the day after we went on that hike on the rock climb, so for a few hours. So, I'm doing fine. It's just I'm staying very active. I'm pushing myself. I'm pushing myself physically. I'm pushing myself mentally. With projects I'm on, that I've taken on, and it's worn me out. So I'm just doing, I'm sleeping a lot. I'm, getting my rest. That's all I'm doing. I'm working and sleeping, because it takes planning. I got to keep my van clean between jobs. I got to, you know what I mean? So all that stuff, I got to plan. I got to, and then I've been cooking, so I cook and then I've been keeping my diet clean. I've been off candy, chocolate it's been 3 weeks, a little over 3 weeks, I think. And like anything, the first few days of that was extremely difficult. And then from there, it's just, every moment that you're desiring something to not partake of it, that's all it is. But yeah, doing a lot better. I mean, just the integrating, like everything is moving as one now, healing, major healing. And so I just want to make this video of that incident sort of to give another view of my healing and how that's going. Just the fact that I was able to go up in that small area, know I was going to be in a small room. But now that I do know that that woman has a baby, I don't want to be inside of that small area, inside of a small bathroom. She's probably going to have all kinds of noises going. God knows. You know, they're probably young. You know, so I don't even want to think about it. And then a baby crying in her house. I don't want to be around that. I was back at another client's house the other day and their dogs were barking. And I mean, it was really putting me on edge. It was the same house where I got sick and threw up at the other day that I had made a note of. But they didn't have as much Wi-Fi going, and I was working half outside and then the rest just down in the basement. So I wasn't around all those signals and everything that they had going on upstairs, and the frequency's really strong because his wife was there. They were both on computers that day, but that I got sick. But the day I was there, it was just him, and he wasn't even on the computer. He was just doing stuff around the house. So I could definitely tell the frequencies were down, but you know, when the dogs started barking in that enclosed space, that really started getting to me. So, you know, I'm just paying attention to, you know, gauging my healing. But like I said, I expect in the next month to make another huge leap in my healing. So we'll see. And I was going to make a video, we'll see, because the way I ended that last video is the reason I wanted to segue into another video because of what's going on in this crazy, fucked up shithole universe. So I might make another video is what I'm saying. I just got a lot going on in my head.